Jim, we're pleased to be joined by the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Gloria Nevarez, who's been with us a number of times over the years here on San Diego Sports 760. She's back with us right now for Media Days. First of all, Commissioner, we appreciate you taking time for us.
Thank you for being here.
All right, so let's start with just a day like today. I mean, you got 20-something radio stations here. You do your media address. You've done this for the last 2 or 3 years. Is it different this time around, just with all the attention, with all the off-field drama with the Mountain West? Is this different for you, or is this similar and it's business as usual?
You know, it's different in that there's so much going on in the national space, revenue distribution, NIL, just big issues, but also business as usual. This is why we exist, to get back into holding championships, live events, and getting back to playing the sports. So that's refreshing.
So getting to on the field, is this expectation for the league to once again be a league that sends a team to the college football playoff?
Yes, and last year's championship was so special. We knew before the game kicked whoever won it was going, right? That's a super unique, special position to be in. And you know what? I think we're on track to be in that same spot this year.
When you look at the future of the college football playoff, there's so much discussion about it. You're talking about some of these national storylines that will involve leagues like the Mountain West, the Pac-12, and all of them, truthfully. Are you in favor of a 12-team playoff, which we saw last year? We saw the success, obviously, at Boise State. Would you like to see it expand to 16? What is your priority when it comes to accessing the playoffs for FBS leagues?
So our priority has always been access. You said it, and that is important. We have to have a path in. Very much appreciate the format this year, 5 conference champions, a field of 12. It's also a data set of 1. Now, I kind of agnostic. If we stay the same, I appreciate the format, but if we expand, I very strongly, our league feels there should not be multiple AQs.
When you talk about the TV deal, the athletic reporting, the Mountain West Next TV deal will include CBS. How do you expect that deal to look compared to your current deal with CBS?
Well, we're in active negotiation. We're not going to talk about it until we've gotten all the deals buttoned up and do the package, but very optimistic that all our partners are going to be back.
Does the Pac-12's TV deal with CBS have any impact on the Mountain West and its future TV deals and negotiations?
You know, the entire media market this time around has been tough, and I think if you recall, the media deal was the reason for the original Pac-12 dissolution. Our legacy partners picked up a lot of Western region inventory when they got Pac-12 schools in the Big 12 and the Big 10, so that has hurt the market a little bit for us, but we're still optimistic. We'll have a great deal. We'll have great exposure, and you know, we're excited.
I asked this before, obviously, as the San Diego State flagship. We've talked about the importance of visibility versus revenue for the Pac-12. I'll ask it from the Mountain West perspective. How do you weigh making sure you have the right exposure, but also making sure you have the revenue for these programs moving forward?
Yeah, and both equally important. Linear, live, national platforms still have primacy in this market environment. But as I mentioned this morning, it is incumbent upon the conference office to look at our business differently. 2 major sources of revenue are media deals and CFP performance, neither of which we really control. We get a shot at media deal once every 5 to 6 years, and we don't hire coaches. We don't play games, schedule, you know, that type of thing. So we are really expanding our reach to think about our business differently. And we're doing a restructuring internally to dedicate bandwidth, personnel to business development and revenue generation.
San Diego State has more championships in the Mountain West across the board than any other school. Obviously, being a flagship here for San Diego State, the legacy that they have had on the Mountain West, how would you describe that for us?
Yeah, and it's exactly what we were talking about this morning, about celebrating all those student athletes that are in the league, started their careers, maybe ending their careers, but have contributed to the DNA and the fabric of the league. And it's important for us to honor all the student athletes in that manner, because this is a really special year. We're the only FBS league in this Western region this year.
Right. Absolutely. The commissioner of the Mountain West is with us right now, Gloria Nevarez, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I mean, you've been asked this so many ways. And I don't even know if there's an answer, because realignment has played out for a century, essentially, in college athletics. Like, how would the Big 12 answer? How do you replace Texas and Oklahoma? But when you lose Boise State, San Diego State, and others, like, are they replaceable, or do you just look different moving forward?
I mean, you think about the history of the Mountain West, right?
Right.
We're one of the younger leagues. We were formed 26 years ago by defection. And we've had teams come through the league before. Like, we pride ourselves on finding talent and elevating it. BYU, TCU,
Sure.
Utah, and yet we rebuild, whether it's in a microcons, of a certain league and a roster versus your administration, ADs and presidents, to schools moving in through the leagues. It's just who we are, and we pride ourselves on rebuilding and continuing an upward trajectory despite change.
Change will happen this year for the conference, Grand Canyon being added. Why Grand Canyon right now?
Grand Canyon makes us competitively better across the board, starting with the basketballs, men and women, and across all sports. And so it was really important for us that their student athletes have a chance to compete for conference and national championships, and we think they really improve us competitively.
What was your reaction to these strong statements from San Diego State, Boise State, that took exception with Grand Canyon joining the league this upcoming year?
Yeah, understandable. But when you submit notice, you read our bylaws, you forfeit your place on the board and your vote in the room. And so those in the room considering this addition were very excited about it and unanimously voted to add them early.
When we look to the future, when we get to 2026, the Mountain West has its members and the Pac-12 and other leagues have their members. What is it going to be like from a playing and competition perspective? We'll still see Mountain West schools taking on Pac-12 schools, presumably across all sports, right? That would be your expectation moving forward, whether it's football, men's basketball, otherwise.
You have to. And that's one of the challenges in the Western region is we don't have that concentration of programs, either in football and FBS or across the board. And so, especially for those schools that are in leagues where they're flying across the Rockies for regular season, I think it's even more important to continue to play in region for your non-conference. So I think there will always be that opportunity to preserve rivalries and continue to play each other.
And we look at, bowl season, we have maybe an opportunity for a Pac-12 school against a Mountain West school in the future. What's your thoughts on potentially that happening?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because in the bowl space, one, I think bowls are really important to postseason experience in football. But two, they do rely on regionalism to some degree as far as being able to travel on a week's notice to see your team play. And so there's this fine balance between what we're going to do in the future with bowls, but also retaining that regional flavor so that you can have good fan attendance and draw. So it feels a little bit like musical chairs. Folks are waiting to see what the CFP does, and then we can figure out what we're going to do in the bowls. Right. But we are very much committed to bowl season, bowl experience, and our current partners and any new partners we can find.
Gloria Nevarez with us right now on John and Jim, the Mountain West Commissioner. There's so much discussion about realignment as it relates to football, but the Mountain West has been such a strong basketball league, and some of the programs leaving the Mountain West have been some of the stronger brands within the Mountain West as well. How do you prioritize? I mean, I look at a Grand Canyon edition, for example. Like when you think about the future of Mountain West, the Mountain West Conference from a basketball, men's and women's basketball perspective, how much of your priority has been about angling for basketball and multiple bids in the NCAA tournament?
Well, as you know, you said it. It is definitely very important. It's something we pride ourselves on. We think that Grand Canyon is going to certainly be a shot in the arm in that sense. But also what I found about the schools joining us in 26, there's a lot of excitement and commitment to entering the league at a very competitive level. So I think you're already experiencing the halo effect around their recruiting, their philanthropy, and their investment just in anticipation of joining the league in 26.
Are you in favor of expansion to the NCAA tournament? What's your thoughts on that?
I start from a place of it ain't broke. Let's not break it.
Thank you.
Comma, but if we're gonna,
okay. Comma, but all right.
If we're going to, I want to make sure that we do not do anything to jeopardize conference tournaments or the special place that conference championships take in this atmosphere. And, if we can expand without overly compacting the calendar, more opportunity could be better. But I do start from a place if it ain't broke.
Right. Yeah. And that's the one thing that ain't broke for sure.
Right. It's like, don't kill the golden goose. And obviously the NCAA has made so much revenue or created so much revenue off the NCAA tournament. A couple of quick ones before you go. Men's basketball went to a balanced schedule last year, which was a big topic of conversation, specifically locally in San Diego. A lot of people preferred the shorter conference schedule of 18 games, not 20. Now it goes to 20, but now with the addition of Grand Canyon, you're not going to 22,
No.
presumably. So it's back to unbalanced.
Correct.
And you'll have a schedule coming out sooner rather than later. There's a lot of discussion about that, but every team, though, will miss one team on the road and one team at home,
Correct.
and that'll be determined. How's that determined?
And
Is that
one
by
less bye.
and
And
one
it
less
will be determined by finish from last year.
by finish from last year?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
Gloria, appreciate you taking time for us. The commissioner of the Mountain West, never dull in your tenure. It has
No.
never been dull in the couple of years since you have been the commissioner of the Mountain West. We appreciate you taking time for us in San Diego, and best of luck moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you
Thank
being here.
you.
All right,
Awesome.
Gloria Nevarez. We will react on the other side. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760.